Hello, everybody. Welcome to Unboundverse channel. Here is your friend AJ, the one that writes all the scripts for this channel. So today, I'm coming. I'm coming to you with a very serious topic that I think could help. Um, and before I tell you the country is gonna help the most, well, I'm gonna tell you what I'm bringing to you first. So today I'm bringing to you a reasonable topic where you consider the potential benefits of a rich man marrying a poor woman. Okay, I know a rich man marrying a poor woman. All right. So, and I know everybody have different perspective when it comes to rich and poor. What someone else consider poor might be different from what somebody else consider poor, or what someone else consider rich might not be the rich consideration of another person. So in order to iron that out, we're going to start by looking at what a rich man mean. Okay, like who could be considered a rich man. Okay, so a rich man can be defined in different ways depending on the context and the perspective, just like I said. Okay, here are a few angles to look at who a rich man is, like who a rich man is. Now, in the perspective of financial wealth, a rich man is someone who has significant financial assets or significant financial investment or significant properties or significant income that allows them to live comfortably and pursue their goals and maintain financial independence. Okay, so that is in the perspective of financial wealth. Now, there's another perspective of rich, and maybe you don't know this. Health and well-being can be considered the richness of a man. A person who enjoys good health, a person who enjoys peace of mind, a person who enjoys physical vitality can be considered rich, as these are invaluable phenomena. Okay, they can be considered rich because someone else may not have all those things that that makes up health and the well-being of a man. So somebody could be rich in that perspective or in that aspect. So another perspective of richness is the relationships and the community. The relationship and the community. So who is rich in this perspective? Somebody that can be considered rich when it comes to relationships and community is someone who has strong supportive relationships with family, friends, and their community. So emotional richness often surpasses material wealth. So some people, they're not good with their family members, like the siblings are not in good terms, they're not in good relations. In that case, they're not rich when it comes to relationship and community. Okay, some people don't do well in the community. It's always some misunderstanding or the other in their community. They're not rich when it comes to relationship in and community. So that that is that those are perspectives. All right, and then there's more. That's not all. Another person could be rich in the form of fulfillment and purpose. All right, like all their life they have been fulfilling, they have been purposeful. All right, so who is rich in fulfillment and purpose? A person who finds meaning, passion, and purpose in their work or life, regardless of their financial status, might be seen as truly rich. So they wake up every day, they feel fulfilled. Whether their job is to go and sweep at the airport, they just feel fulfilled with it. They feel fulfilled with that kind of job, and they find meaning and passion in it. Maybe their job is to teach. They find fulfillment in it. That is, they are rich in that way. They are rich, regardless of their financial status. They are just rich. They find purpose in it. Some people is just to help other people. All right. So whatever somebody finds fulfillment in and purpose in, and they're doing it, and it's giving them, purpose in their life, and they are peaceful and they are satisfied with it, that means they are rich. They are rich in fulfillment and they are rich in purpose. And the last perspective of a rich fellow, somebody that's considered rich, the last perspective is the knowledge and experiences. Somebody that is rich in knowledge and experiences. So who is someone that's rich in knowledge and experiences? Those are the people that have wealth of knowledge, wealth of skills, wealth of life experiences, wealth of enriching information, and that thing is enriching their lives and those of others that are around them. So we can see how rich man can be described depending on the perspective you're looking at it. Okay, so now from your perspective, you that are watching me right now, from your perspective of a rich man, what qualities do you think make someone rich? Share that in the comment section. Okay, now we have seen what a rich man is, right? We have talked about what now let's talk about what a poor man is. A poor man or a poor woman, or who could be considered a poor person, man or woman. Okay, so a poor person can also be viewed from various perspectives depending on the context. Just like a rich person can be viewed from different perspectives depending on the context, the same applies to a poor person. Now in the context of financial poverty, all right, this is one that is common around the world. This is one everyone, I think, is familiar with. The financial poverty. All right, someone who lacks the financial resources to meet their basic needs, such as food, shelter, clothing, healthcare, and education. Someone who lacks the financial resources to meet their basic basic needs, such as food, shelter, healthcare, and education. Anyone that lack financial resources, when it comes to money, they lack that money, to get them their basic need. That's somebody that is financially poor. He's financially in poverty, a poor man. All right, so that's one context. Now another context of a poor man or a poor woman is somebody that is poor emotionally. They're in emotional poverty. This is not common in some society. Some people don't even know that is a thing. Emotional poverty. So in this context, a poor person can be considered emotionally poor, right? When they feel unloved, when they feel isolated, or when they feel unsupported, even if they have material wealth, even if they have material wealth, even if they have money. So emotional well-being is an essential aspect of richness in life. Emotional well-being is an essential aspect of richness in life. So that's one context when you're talking about a poor person, okay? Somebody that is emotionally poor. Now, there's another poor context, which is lack of purpose. Lack of purpose. Someone who feels lost, aimless, or disconnected from meaning and fulfillment in life. This person is considered a poor person in the context of purpose. They don't find meaning and fulfillment in life. They are lost. They are aimless. They are just lost. That's somebody that is poor also, but in the context of lack of purpose. Okay, that's common in Western society, maybe also in African society too. Now, there's another context of poor that we can look at: knowledge or opportunity poverty. Somebody that lacks knowledge or they lack opportunity. That's also being poor. They are poor in that aspect. So a person who lacks access to education, who lacks access to information, who lacks access to opportunities to grow or to improve or to reach their potential, this person is also poor in that context. Another one is the health deficiency. Somebody can also be poor in health deficiency context. Okay, so poor health or lack of access to healthcare can limit a person's quality of life, and this can make them feel impoverished regardless of their financial status. What's the excitement or the enjoyment when somebody has a lot of money but they are poor in their health? They have so many health deficiency. You see? So they are poor in that aspect. They have money, but they are poor when it comes to health. Another context you can take a look at a poor person perspective is the gratitude deficiency. Gratitude deficiency. Someone who constantly focuses on what they don't have rather than appreciating what they do have could be seen as poor in mindset. They can be poor in mindset. Gratitude deficiency. They have the deficiency of gratitude. They do not appreciate, or they do not constantly focus on what they have. They always focus on what they don't have. That person is poor in mindset. Now, true riches or true poverty often goes beyond material wealth. It is also about the quality of one's life, one's relationship, and sense of purpose. Now, you that are watching me, what is your own perspective of a poor person? What's your perspective? Share it in the comment section. Now, why did I first start this video by talking about who a poor person is and who a rich person is? I will tell you. But before I go on to tell you that, if you're new to this channel, this is Unbound Verse channel, and I am your friend AJ. If you're new, support this channel for more content like this by clicking on the like button and sharing this video, and also subscribe if you like, but you must like and share. Okay, all right. So the reason why we are here the reason why we are here is because so I thought about this idea. Like, some countries have big disparity between the elite and the, let me just say, the ordinary people. The gap is so wide. So I'm thinking, like, instead of those people waiting on the government of the country or the government of the day to help them out of that situation, what is something that they can start doing themselves? It may take time. Of course, Rome wasn't built in a day. So what is that thing they can start doing themselves that will start to reduce that gap? Because if you want to have a balanced society and a balanced country, the disparity between the elite and the ordinary common people should not be this wide. Okay, of course, there's elite in all societies, but the gap between them, it should not be this wide. In my own perspective, I think there should not be a big disparity between them. If there is, it should just be a little. All right. Of course, everybody cannot be the same. So, considering all these perspectives and the context of a poor person and a rich person, what are the natural societal benefits when a rich man marries a poor man? I heard in a video somewhere where somebody said, seeing he said that this guy is a rich man, okay, a rich male person, saying this on one video. He said that poor woman turns him on. I know, right? I've never heard that in my life. He said poor woman turns him on. He said so many things about poor women. He said so many great things about poor women. And I'm like, this guy is making so much sense. But he did not present his case. Let me say, he did not water the ground before he planted that seed. He just came out and said that. No one knows his pre-context, like his pre-idea of this thing, But I thought about what he said. I'm like, what? This guy is a genius. This guy is a genius. All right. Before I digress, let's continue. So now, when a rich man marries a poor woman, it can bring various natural societal benefits, all right, depending on the dynamics of the relationship and the surrounding context. All right, it can bring various natural societal benefits, all right, depending on the dynamics of the relationship and the surrounding context. So here are some potential positive outcomes. Okay, here are some potential positive outcomes of a situation where a rich man marries a poor woman, or maybe it's a situation where a rich woman marries a poor man, because it could be vice versa. It's not only men that are rich and it's not only women that are poor. There are also rich women and there are also poor men. In some societies, if there's a scale to measure it, there you might see the data and see which one is more, which one is less in a given society. Now, when a rich man marries a poor woman, or when a rich woman marries a poor man, these are the societal benefits. All right. Number one, there's going to be a class integration. Okay. There's going to be a class integration. What do I mean by that? A union of a rich man and a poor woman can help bridge that big gap that's between social classes. That rich gap that is between social classes can be bridged. So, as I was saying, right, one of the potential benefit when a rich man or when a rich person marries a poor person is that there is class integration. Okay, there's class integration. This is gonna break the social barriers. It's gonna break the social barriers. Remember, the elites are up here, the rich people are up here, the ordinary people are down here. So when one rich person comes from here and meets with a poor person here, and they find each other in a good spotlight, and they're okay, you see, they integrate. So it causes that integration between social classes, and that can foster greater empathy and understanding across economic divides. So another thing that will happen is that there will be equality in relationships. There will be equality in relationship when rich people marries poor people. All right, it challenges societal norms that often tie worth to wealth, demonstrating that love and compatibility can transcend financial status. And that is true. Love and compatibility can surpass financial status. Okay. Now, the number two benefit, right? Number two potential benefit is the empowerment and the upliftment that will happen. All right, there's going to be economic empowerment. The poorer spouse may gain access to opportunities for education, opportunities for entrepreneurship, opportunities for self-development, and all these things were previously inaccessible. Like for instance, in some Western countries, when you see a rich person of a certain race getting married to a poor person of a certain race, that's economic empowerment right there. That's economic empowerment. There's so many examples out there. I don't have one in my head right now. So that's economic empowerment right there. And then another potential benefit that will happen is the family advancement. Family advancement. The families will advance. The poorer woman's family or the poorer man's family may experience an uplift in their living standards and their social mobility. Okay, the living standard is gonna be uplifted, and the social mobility is gonna be uplifted. That is another benefit of a rich man, a rich person marrying to a poor person. Another potential benefit that we can see here, right, is the redistribution of resources. Redistribution of resources. Okay, so remember, we're talking about the benefits, the societal benefit of a rich person marrying a poor person. So the third benefit is the redistribution of resources. Resources are going to be redistributed. All right. So a marriage of a rich person to a poor person can lead to a more equitable redistribution of wealth within the family unit and potentially benefiting future generation. All right. The dynamics may encourage the rich spouse to invest in causes or initiatives that support marginalized community. So there's going to be redistribution of it. They might, because of that, have a new facility in their community. Another benefit is the positive role modeling. Positive role modeling. Okay. So with positive role modeling, love over wealth. This is what's going to be modeled here. Love over wealth. Mostly in most society, most women these days, or most men these days, if you ask them, hey, would you like to go with somebody that's very, very financially rich, but you will not be happy? Most people will say yes, because they value wealth over love. They value money over love. Money is good, yes, money is important, but money is not everything. Especially to some people, money is not everything to some people. So love over wealth. This model will begin to spread. A lot of people will try to copy that. So their marriage, right? The marriage between the rich person and the poor person can inspire others to prioritize values like love, respect, and shared vision over financial status. I know the video said love is sweet, but when money enters, love is sweeter. You say, love is sweeter, but when money enters, love is sweeter. So that's also true. But love over wealth can be modeled like that when a rich person marries a poor person. All right. And then another way that can be a positive model is when prejudice is overcome. Prejudice will be overcome that way, right? This kind of coming together will challenge the stereotypes about the capabilities or worth of people from less privileged backgrounds. All right. And then the last one here is that it's going to develop the children. All right. Children's development. Children born into such union may benefit from a balanced upbringing, learning both the value of hard work and the benefits of privilege, shaping them into more empathetic, grounded individuals. Think about such families, right? One is rich, one is poor. One has got the experience of being rich, the other one has got the experience of being poor. See, and naturally you could tell that this is a good thing, because in life there is one thing and there is the opposite of that thing, and that's how life is balanced. For instance, there's darkness and there's light. Without darkness, light will be useless, and without light, darkness will be useless. Okay, there is air and there's water. Okay, some people do well in air, some people do well in water, some people do well in water, some people do well in air. Okay, even there's yin and yang. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right? So think about rich and poor. You see that concept? It will work so well because one person is poor and the other person is rich. It's gonna be so balanced, and they're gonna give birth to children that is so well grounded. Those kind of children from that family will they will be really really developed, like naturally. So children born into such a union may benefit from a balanced upbringing, learning both the value of hard work and the benefits of privilege. And this will shape them into a more empathetic and a more grounded individual. So now let me know what are your thoughts on the societal impact of such union. All right. If you have any thoughts about additional societal impact of what I just said, share it in the comment section. You might inspire somebody else. Okay. Now let's look at the disadvantages, because there's nothing that exists that have an advantage or benefit that does not have a disadvantage or a bad side of it. Of course, there's going to be a disadvantage when a rich person marries a poor person. Now, these advantages can be mitigated or controlled, but let's talk about the disadvantage first. Now, before we go into the disadvantage of what is possible when a rich person marries a poor person, if you're new to this channel, again, I am your friend AJ. Welcome to Unbound Verse. Support this channel by liking and sharing this video to all your rich folks and your poor folks, so that they can understand that it is societally beneficial for a poor person to marry a rich person, or it's societally beneficial for a rich person to marry a poor person. All right, and now we're about to talk about the disadvantages. The first one, right, when a rich man marries a poor woman, or when a rich woman marries a poor man, potential disadvantages may arise, particularly if the relationship dynamics and the societal perceptions or the cultural factors are not handled well. Okay, remember that if all those are not handled well. So here are some of the challenges. Okay, the first challenge is going to be the power imbalance. Okay, they say you don't really know who a person is until they have money or power. You don't truly know. You can say that about me, I can say that about you, people can say that about their friends, but I think I agree with that statement, that you don't truly know who a person is until they have money or they have power or they are very very comfortable. Okay, and it's the same thing too. You don't truly know who a person is until you try them with extreme situations, like extreme constraint, like extreme poverty. That also unleashes the true inner person of people. All right, but let's not digress. Let's continue talking about this topic, because I'm so excited about this topic. I like it a lot. So power imbalance, right? Dominance of the wealthier spouse. So the wealthier spouse might exert control over decisions or over creating an unequal power dynamics. Okay, that might happen if that relationship is like overlooked. Okay, there might be a dominance of the wealthier spouse. All right, another disadvantage is dependency. right? The poorer spouse may become overly reliant on the wealthier spouse, leading to a lack of autonomy. Okay, that's bad. Now, this next disadvantage, some of you may have seen it before. It's called the social judgment and stigma. Remember, social, I can just even say social media judgment and stigma. There's a stereotype, all right? There's a stereotype that the society has, all right? The society may unfairly label the poorer spouse as a gold digger or an opportunist, all right? So, and that word is flying around lately. The 2024, I heard that word a lot on social media. 2023, I heard it a lot. They're calling people gold digger. All right, that stereotype stuff is gonna be seen. All right, and class prejudice. Friends, family, or the community may judge or discriminate against the poorer spouse, and that can cause emotional strain. All right, so the friends, the family, or the community may judge or discriminate against the poorer spouse. They might be like I think that happened. If I don't quote me on this, I think that was what we saw when Meku and Meghan Markle and who again? Prince Harry, yeah, in Europe. Remember that story? Remember that stereotype around it? Yeah, so that's an example, right? That's an example of class prejudice right there. Another disadvantage is the cultural and value differences. Remember, they are coming from a different status. One person is very rich, and the other person is very poor or poor. Of course, they're gonna have different lifestyle, all right, and they're gonna have different priorities in life. They're gonna have different values. So the lifestyle adjustment, all right. Now, the poorer spouse may struggle to adapt to the wealthier partner's lifestyle or expectation, and this can also lead to stress. All right, and the different priorities, the disparities in values or priorities that will stem from their socio-economic backgrounds could create conflict. Okay, the values of the rich people are different from the values of the poor people. All right, and you're gonna see that coming up, that cultural and the value differences is gonna come. It might come into play. All right, but those are just the potential disadvantage, not necessarily that will happen. Now, family and the in-law issues. Don't forget about this. The rich person is coming from a family, right? And the poor person is also coming from a family. Now, those two are now together now. Now, in some culture, the person that married the other person, they're not only marrying each other. It's their family that is marrying, not physically, but their family will engage with the other people's family, right? So family and the in-law issues will also come in. There will always be some resistance from the wealthier family. You know, they might be like, what are you thinking? How could you do that to this family? How could you stoop so low? Oh my gosh, you have embarrassed this family. You disgrace me, your father. Do you know who I am in this society? You know, things like that will come up. And that can cause a lot of stress, all right? Another is the pressure on the poor or the poorer spouse family. There might be pressures because some people can go extreme sometimes. They might do the unbelievable just to prevent that kind of marriage from being a successful marriage. You know, there may be an expectation to provide financial assistance to the poorer spouse's family, and that might lead to tension. Okay, the family of the poor person might be a burden onto that rich person. They might be demanding a lot, asking for this and that, you know. Of course, that's gonna happen, and of course they can also say no, but it might not be easy. All right, now economic tension is another disadvantage. So economic tension in the form of uneven contributions. So disparities in financial contributions might lead to resentment or feelings of inadequacy. So if they don't think it through. When one person is contributing so much and the other person is not contributing enough, the rich one might be feeling, the poor one might be feeling inadequate. Like, oh, I can't, oh, they can't, So that is there. And then the hidden motives. If either parties is not sincere with each other, the marriage could be exploited for financial gain. And that might lead to mistrust and conflict. And let me tell you the last two disadvantages. All right. There also be a challenge in parenting. That could be a challenge in parenting. Conflicting upbringing styles. The way the rich person was brought up is different from the way the poor person was brought up. Now, if there's no sincerity of conjugation among both of them, they may not be able to come up with a unified way to raise their children. There might be conflict there. The rich person might be thinking about ways to make the life of the child super easy, but the poorer person might be thinking of a way to make the child tough, not necessarily mentally, but like physically. They might say, no, you're making this child so weak, this child will not be able to compete with other child, and things like that. So there may be conflicts in that area. And now the entitlement versus humility will also be a challenge. So teaching children to balance privilege with humility could be a complex task. All right. Now, potential for exploitation might also be a disadvantage there. So either partner may exploit the other for financial, social, or emotional gain, leading to distrust and a lack of genuine connection. So if there's no sincerity in that marriage, that can happen. Now, how can this be overcome? All these disadvantages can be overcome or can be prevented if you're in a marriage where one party in the marriage is the rich and the other party is the poor person, or where one person is the poor person and the other party is the rich person. This is how you can overcome these disadvantages that we just talked about in your marriage, or if you see it in your friend's marriage. All right. Communication and mutual respect is the number one most paramount. Communication and mutual respect. Okay. In Yoruba language, they say enula mafiso, idila mafijoko. This is the way I interpret that. You have to talk. You have to sit down and talk. Sit down and communicate. Okay. Now, open and honest discussions about finances, about their values, about their expectations can prevent misunderstanding. In a lot of marriages, some problems could have been resolved only if the two partners had sat down and put aside their ego or their shame and talk about it. Communication is very powerful, right? So, communication and mutual respect. Now, communication and mutual respect, you see, it goes together. Mutual respect is when you both respect each other, regardless of age, status. You just respect each other first. All right. That is a big tool, that can help you overcome the disadvantage. Now, support system. Building a strong network of trusted friends or counselors can help navigate societal or family pressure. Building a strong network of trusted friends or strong network of trusted counselors can help navigate societal or family pressure. So pressure will come from either side of the family. But try to build, trusted friends that you can talk to, or trusted counselors that you can talk to. All right. If you have those around, you're gonna be golden. Shared goals is another way to overcome this disadvantage. Focusing on common aspirations can unite the couple. And Thereby, it will minimize the class-related conflicts. All right. Focus on your common aspirations. All right. It can help you unite. All right. Look at your common aspirations and you both focus on it. It will help you. It will help you overcome that. Now, do you think that the benefits of a poor person marrying a rich person, or a rich person marrying a poor person, do you think that the benefits can outweigh the challenges? What do you think? Share what you think or your thoughts in the comment section, okay? You might inspire somebody. Now, after all these that we have talked about, someone asked me a question, and this is the cocoa of where we are going, okay? I'm from Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian, and I've had a lot of things, good things, bad things that the whole world says about Nigerians. All right. So someone asked me, they said, would you encourage the rich men in Nigerian society to marry the poor women in Nigeria? Personally, me here that's talking to you, I would encourage the rich men. All right. But because I cannot be biased, I don't want to be biased. I will just provide you a balanced perspective on the topic, okay? Because I cannot force rich men to marry poor women or rich women to marry poor men, but I can provide you, a balanced perspective, all right? And here are my balanced perspective, okay? So encouraging rich men in Nigeria society to marry poor women could bring both opportunities and challenges, just like we have talked about earlier. And I'm only going to talk to you about the potential benefits because because you remember I told you, I said me as a person, I will willfully encourage a rich person to marry a poor person in Nigeria. Yes, I would. Because that's going to help Nigeria in so many ways that you can't not even imagine. Imagine somebody from Port Harcourt, let's say Otedola has a son, right? And let's say, I don't know, poor people are not that popular. I'm looking for another person that's poor. Let's see, who is poor in Nigeria that I can think of? Okay, let's say me. Let me use myself because I'm not rich yet financially. It looks like I'm financially rich, but I'm not rich. So let's say $10 or $10 that, yeah. So let's say $10 has a son and I have a daughter, right? $10 is a very rich person financially and in other ways, right? So his son is also considered, in that status right there, up there, right? Then my daughter, I'm an ordinary guy. I'm not rich. And let's say I have a daughter. So when those two marry, right? that's a good thing. You don't think so? If you don't think so, let me know in the comment section. And I just used $10 as an example. I don't even know him. I just hear his name. I've heard about Dangote. I've heard about the Adenugas. A lot of rich people in Nigeria. So now the potential benefits are as follows. This potential benefits are as follows, and like I said, I'm only going to talk about the potential benefits. All right, if you want to hear more about the potential disadvantage, let me know in the comment section, but I'm going to tell you just about the potential benefits. So one of the potential benefits is that it's going to bridge the wealth gap. And unless you don't know anything about Nigeria, you will know that the wealth gap in Nigeria is huge. It's either you are from a rich side or you are from a poor side. There's no average in between. Okay, that's the disparity there. So that gap will be bridged. Okay, when such marriages are encouraged in Nigeria, that big gap between the elite and the ordinary people, that gap will be bridged. All right. So because it's going to promote social integration and it's going to reduce class barriers. All right. And this will foster a sense of unity in a society that is often divided by wealth disparity like Nigeria. It can serve as a symbolic gesture that wealth does not define the value of a person, breaking stereotypes about class and status. Another example is Davido and Chioma. I don't know Chioma too well. Is it Chioma? Yeah, it's Chioma. Davido and Chioma. They just got wedded when? Last year or so? Was it 2024? Yeah. So that I don't know Chioma too well. I don't know if she's from a wealthy family, but I think the marriage between Davido and Chioma is one of these one of the instances of this video that I'm talking about. And I'm not making this video because of their marriage, okay? Because I know you Nigerian people, you can do and undo. I'm watching you guys, okay? All right, so another benefit is that the empowering the poor woman and her family, okay? The poor woman or the poor man's family will be empowered, period. Imagine that. That means you just brought some people out of poverty. Trust me, because if you wait on the Nigerian government to bring people out of government or out of poverty, it's gonna happen eventually. But some of us may not be alive then. That's just the way I see it. So by marrying, from rich family into a poor family is gonna help to bring people out of poverty slowly but surely. All right. So it's gonna do that. Now, there's gonna be access to education. There's gonna be access to opportunities. There's gonna be access to resources for the poorer spouse. All right, and the poorer family can be uplifted. All right. So, and this could lead to more balanced family dynamics, where both sides bring unique perspective and strength. I mean, that marriage of Davido and Chioma is so perfect. One is from the Yoruba, and the other one is from the Igbo tribe. And look at that powerful conjugation. Look at that powerful union of those people. Now, you will see that the social influence is another advantage. Such union could inspire others to look beyond their socioeconomic status when choosing partners, focusing on character, love, and shared values instead. Okay. Another advantage is strengthened community. The community will be strengthened. Believe it or not, the community will be strengthened. The integration of families from different socioeconomic backgrounds may encourage collaboration and foster a sense of mutual respect within communities. The Yoruba people will now respect the Igbo people. The Igbo people will now respect the Yoruba people even more. That's another advantage of this kind of union. And this could help address stigmas that are often associated with poverty, especially for women from underprivileged background. Okay. Another potential benefit is the cultural relevance. In many Nigerian cultures, kindness, humility, and community support are highly valued. Marrying across classes aligns with these cultural ideas and reinforces values of inclusivity. Okay, so you can see so many potential benefits. Now, if you think of another potential benefit in your mind that I did not talk about, please share it in the comment section. Let that inspire somebody. Okay. Now, there's keynotes here that I want to round up with. I have some keynotes for us that I'm going to round up with, right? If rich men in Nigeria are encouraged to marry poor women, it should be done with these considerations in mind. Number one consideration, genuine love and respect. What do I mean by that? The relationship should be built on mutual understanding, not charity or obligation. Okay, genuine love and genuine respect. Number two, shared value and goals. What do I mean by that? Marrying across classes works best when both partners have aligned visions for their future. Okay. Another note is support system. Okay. Families and communities must support the union to minimize societal judgments and familiar resistance. Okay. Empowerment, not dependency. What do I mean by that? The wealthier spouse should empower the poorer partner to grow and thrive, not create dependency. Okay. Don't create dependency. You need to empower the poorer partner to grow. Okay. Education and awareness. What do I mean by that? Programs or campaigns that are promoting love beyond financial statuses can help shift societal mindset and reduce stigma. Okay. It will reduce stigma a lot. So, in conclusion, my people, everybody watching around the world, encouraging such marriage could be beneficial if approached with the right intentions and the right support structure. Okay. However, it's important to focus on promoting love, promoting mutual respect, and shared growth rather than wealth alone. What are your thoughts on this? Should Nigerian society promote love beyond financial status, or are there specific cultural factors to consider? What are your thoughts? Ladies and gentlemen, young and old, I am your friend AJ. Thanks for watching. See you in another video. Bye bye.